Noisy.
We've seen Souls clones time and time again. Typically, those who love the genre find something they like most about them, but nothing really comes close to the punishingly dark and skill-based gameplay that the series provides. However, this new cold symmetry developed video game Mortal Shell takes what we love about the Souls series and adds so much more in terms of compelling gameplay, systems, and lore that it should not be ignored by series fans. Mortal Shell doesn't really let you know what's going on with the narrative. You find yourself as a wandering inhabitant of a nightmarish world, but you have the ability to possess fallen warriors and take advantage of their skills. The game seems to want you to hold on to doubt about your actions because you never really know if you're doing the right thing. Pieces of knowledge are slowly provided to you the further you get, and your actions directly affect the world around you. From the opening scenes of Mortal Shell, I don't think I ever felt more lost in a video game. There are hints provided, but don't expect any handouts to get accustomed to the combat and navigating the world. This will be a running theme throughout the game because I never knew where I was going, and yet I always got to where I needed to be. It wasn't always easy, but after a few hours within the world, you begin to understand it more and more. No, I was never comfortable, and I think that's what the developers wanted, but I did feel like I had a place in the setting. There's an uneasiness that you have during each moment of this game, and then you find your heart racing as you hear the rumblings of a giant beast coming from the end of the hall. You can do your best to prepare, but the excitement and adrenaline rush that this game causes is almost constant. Aside from the frustration of suffering many deaths, I was always at the edge of my seat. To get through the challenge of surviving Mortal Shell, the developers are pretty gracious with the tools that they provide players. In battles, you will need to pay attention to the stamina meter as you dodge and attack. However, it's possible to parry attacks, which results in a satisfying blow to your foe. This all seems like standard fare when it comes to these types of games, but Mortal Shell also has an ace up its sleeve with the ability to harden. This defensive maneuver allows players to pretty much block an incoming attack almost instantly. It is also going to be your best friend throughout the game and something that should be taken into any strategy. Aside from that, the shells that players can access are each unique and provide a different way to approach encounters. Not only does their stamina vary, but their passive abilities and movesets also change. It honestly comes down to how you wish to play. You aren't forced to play as a specific shell, but this also makes each experience different. The shell's abilities are purchased using tar and glimpses. Tar is received from fallen enemies, while glimpses are a little harder to come by. The passive abilities are different for each shell, and they do complement the things that they specialize in. I appreciated the thought that went into some of these abilities, as it made choosing what to upgrade pretty tough. Customization goes a bit further when trying to decide which weapons to use. However, Mortal Shell doesn't just give you a weapon. No, you have to fight a challenging enemy who then gives you their weapon. Weapons can also be enhanced using materials and other items gained. You can even learn new attacks alongside making your weapon stronger. You're free to focus on upgrading individual weapons at your own discretion, which made the entire playthrough feel unique to me. Now, similar to Souls games, you can expect to die a lot, so when it comes to Mortal Shell, this idea isn't any different. However, you have a few helpful systems here. For one, after dying, you only get knocked out of your shell, but you are allowed to re-enter and gain a full health bar. Also, if you died somewhere before, touching your last death will regain your health. This will enable you to make some boss battles a little easier, since you can view this system as extra lives. The boss battles are exciting as you encounter them in various parts of the game's world. They will frustrate you and they will most likely kill you, but they are not unbeatable. It seems like Mortal Shell offers a lot in the form of giving you time to understand enemy attack patterns, and that appears in the boss encounters as well. This ended up making me wish the bosses weren't as repetitive and easy to read. Still, every skill earned comes into play during these fights, making for some genuinely great moments of gaming. Like the world itself, the items of Mortal Shell play their own role in the discovery of this world. It's not told to you what some items do before you use them, which forces you to roll the dice in hopes that the outcome is something you want. However, after the first use, you gain familiarity with the items and then you can get the most out of them. It ultimately adds to the immersion of the game, and I ended up really liking it. Mortal Shell is truly a beautiful game with some great environments to explore and get lost in. The character animations in battle have weight to them as you make your way through the deadly path. paths. While I liked most of the enemies I encountered, I did feel like they were reused a bit too much. There were times where I would just walk into a room and 5 of the same enemy would appear. What I think I like more about the entire experience overall is how when it was over, I didn't want it to be over. I thought back to all the deaths and rage quits that I went through, but I also was reminded of things that I missed, which had me eager to jump back in. Mortal Shell takes what you'd expect from Souls clones and adds heaps of creativity and unique systems that make it a whole new experience. Each moment of gameplay is an adrenaline rush as you progress further in the nightmare. There are many moments of confusion, but this one is for the masochists out there who are looking for something to really immerse themselves in and discover on their own. Noisy Pixel is giving Mortal Shell a 9 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Please read the full review on noisypixel.net. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all our future content.